My girlfriend violated my trust while I was tied up, and I'm having trouble getting over it. I want to share a deeply personal experience that has left me grappling with trust and emotional turmoil in my relationship. My girlfriend and I have been together for nearly a year, and while we've explored some adventurous aspects of intimacy, a recent incident has turned my world upside down. My girlfriend, who is 23, once mentioned that she had a particular interest in smothering her partner. I was hesitant about this idea, especially since I had a traumatic experience as a child where I nearly drowned. I made it clear to her that this was a boundary for me, but I never thought it would come to a point where my trust would be so severely tested. About 2 weeks ago, during an intimate moment, I found myself tied to the bed, a situation we had both consented to. In the midst of this, she suddenly pinched my nose shut and covered my mouth with her hand. I was taken aback and struggled to breathe. I managed to gasp for air, but as she tightened her grip, I felt panic set in. I tried to use our safe word, pleading for her to stop, but she ignored my cries and continued. When she finally released me, I was in tears, begging her to let me go. She apologized profusely, claiming she had gotten carried away, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was profoundly wrong. In that moment, I felt not only scared, but also betrayed. The laughter I heard from her during my struggle felt like a mockery of my fear, and it left me questioning her sincerity. After the incident, I needed space to process everything. I left the house for a while, hoping to clear my mind. Since that day, intimacy has been strained between us. I've tried to forgive her, but I can't help but feel that her apologies lack authenticity. The trust I once had is now clouded with doubt, and I find myself unable to view our relationship in the same light. I reached out to the online community for advice, hoping to find clarity. Many responses echoed my feelings, emphasizing that consent is paramount in any relationship, especially when exploring boundaries. They pointed out that ignoring a safe word is a serious violation and that I shouldn't dismiss my feelings as overreactions. It was comforting to hear that I wasn't alone in feeling this way. As I reflected on the situation, I realized that this wasn't just a simple misunderstanding, it was a significant breach of trust. I've been contemplating whether I should end a relationship or try to work through this. I still care for her, but I can't help but wonder if this incident is a sign of deeper issues. In the days that followed, I continued to process the advice I received and the emotions that came with it. I felt grateful for the support, but the decision still loomed over me. How do you move forward when the foundation of trust has been shaken? I knew I had to prioritize my well-being and make a choice that felt right for me. This experience has been a harsh reminder of the importance of open communication and consent in any relationship. As I navigate these feelings, I hope to find a resolution that allows me to heal and move forward, whether that means rebuilding trust or finding the strength to walk away. I want to share a deeply personal experience that has shaken my understanding of trust and relationships. Recently, I found myself in a situation that left me questioning everything I thought I knew about love and safety. It all started with a moment that was supposed to be intimate and consensual, but it quickly spiraled into something that felt like a nightmare. I was tied up, and in what should have been a safe space, my girlfriend violated my trust in a way that I never could have anticipated. When I realized what was happening, I felt a rush of fear that took me back to a childhood trauma. I was terrified, and in that moment, I understood that my safe word, the very thing meant to protect me, was ignored. After this incident, I needed time to process everything. I decided to take a step back and not live with her for a while. I explained to her that I wasn't breaking up with her, but I needed space to sort through my feelings. She seemed understanding, but I could tell she was worried that I might end things for good. As I navigated this emotional turmoil, I found myself torn. Part of me wanted to give her another chance, but I struggled to convince myself that things could ever return to normal. The fear and betrayal I felt were overwhelming, and I knew that trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to rebuild. I wished more than anything that this had never happened. During this time apart, I sought solace in the online community. I posted about my experience, hoping to find validation and support. The responses I received were eye-opening. Many people shared their insights, emphasizing that what I experienced was not just a mistake, but a serious violation of trust. They pointed out that ignoring a safe word is a significant breach of consent, and I began to understand the gravity of the situation more clearly. One commenter highlighted that my girlfriend had turned a traumatic experience from my past into something for her own pleasure, disregarding my feelings entirely. This realization was chilling. It made me question not just her actions but her character. How could someone I cared about do something so hurtful? Others encouraged me to seek professional help, suggesting that talking to a counselor could provide me with the tools I needed to heal. They reminded me that the trauma I experienced could have lasting effects, and it was essential to prioritize my mental health. While the idea of discussing such personal matters with a stranger felt daunting, I recognized that it might be necessary for my healing process. As I continued to reflect on my situation, I realized that I needed to take my time. Healing isn't linear, and it's okay to feel conflicted about my feelings toward my girlfriend. I knew I had to be cautious and prioritize my safety, both emotionally and physically. I also considered the implications of her actions. If she could disregard my consent once, what would stop her from doing it again? I began to think about the broader community and whether others needed to be warned about her behavior. It was a heavy burden to carry, but I understood that I had to protect myself and potentially others from further harm. In the end, I learned that it's okay to seek help and that prioritizing my well-being is not just important, but necessary. I'm still on this journey of healing, and while I don't have all the answers yet, I'm determined to find a path forward that honors my experiences and restores my sense of safety and trust. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it resonates with anyone who has faced similar challenges and reminds us all of the importance of consent and trust in our relationships. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that.